Speaker A. Alright, today let's talk about a very special set of materials. It's not a news report, nor is it an academic paper. It's a transcript of a dialogue, a recording of a very direct and arguably stinging conversation between a master and his disciples. Speaker B. Exactly. The charm of this material lies in its raw authenticity. Reading it, you can really feel the tension. It is unpolished, as if the dialogue was plucked straight from a room filled with heavy atmosphere. Speaker A. You can almost feel the air in the room. He tries to solve a dilemma that I think you and I have both encountered. Why is it that even when everyone in the team starts with good intentions, they end up achieving nothing and only creating more suffering? What is actually happening behind the scenes? Speaker B. The dialogue starts with a shock. The master blurted out to his disciples, "You simply cannot get things done." And he emphasized that this isn't a matter of method or ability, there is a more fundamental obstacle blocking the way. That's what makes the whole thing so intriguing. Speaker A. Right? So, our task today is to follow this dialogue and solve the mystery. What exactly is that fundamental obstacle that leads a team to a dead end? Speaker B. Let's look directly at how the master diagnoses the problem. His entry point is incredibly sharp. He says, when you can't get things done yet, there is no point in considering how to do them. I find that sentence alone very interesting. He believes the root cause of failing to achieve anything boils down to one word: vexation. Speaker A. When I first saw that, he thought, vexation. That sounds a bit too mystical. The key to success or failure is vexation. It sounds like some kind of spiritual inquiry, doesn't it? Speaker B. But if you dive into the context of the conversation, you'll find that vexation has a very specific definition. Speaker A. What is it? Speaker B. It's not the casual "I'm in a bad mood today" kind of annoyance. Here, it's more like an internal, deep-seated autopilot mode. Speaker A. Autopilot mode. Speaker B. Yes, you can imagine it as a default program in your mind. The text describes it vividly. It's a state of following your feelings, acting on impulse, and being extremely overconfident when a specific situation arises. This program runs automatically. Its only goal is to satisfy the immediate impulse, and it tells you that doing so is absolutely right. Speaker A. Oh, I think I see. So he has a very heavy line. The moment you act, it is a vexation. Therefore, you cannot do. It means that when I am controlled by this autopilot, whatever I do, no matter how reasonable it seems on the surface, is essentially just executing a program to satisfy an impulse. I'm not solving the problem. I'm creating more vexation. Speaker B. Well said. That hits the core. The key isn't whether we have vexations, everyone has these impulses. The key is what attitude we hold toward that inner voice. Speaker A. How so? Speaker B. The master points out that the disciples' fatal flaw is their unwavering belief in their own vexations to the point of 100% obedience. It's like having a faulty GPS in your car that keeps leading you into dead ends, but you still follow it without hesitation every single time. In this state, any intention to do a good job is hijacked and distorted by this habit the moment it arises. Speaker A. That's a great metaphor. You think you're driving toward a goal, but in reality, the program called vexation is at the wheel, and it just wants to spin in circles or drive off a cliff. So, this vexation sounds like an internal virus infecting all our intentions. Does the material mention an antidote? Speaker B. Yes. The dialogue quickly leads to the solution, which is another keyword: self-discipline. Interestingly, the disciples actually looked up the AI definition of self-discipline. It sounded very standard, like something out of a textbook. Speaker A. You mean, like the ability to demand and restrain oneself through willpower without supervision, a capacity to control behavior, emotions, and habits? It sounds ideal, but a bit empty. How did the master say it? Speaker B. That was the turning point. The master seized on the most crucial word in that definition: ability. He immediately agreed that self-discipline is a capability. To explain this, he used a brilliant analogy. Speaker A. What analogy? Speaker B. He said, if I give you the most advanced airplane, but you don't have the ability to pilot it, your desire to fly is useless. You cannot rely on wishing to make the plane take off and land safely. Speaker A. I get it. Some people in the team have many wishes to do things well, but they generally lack the capability to operate those wishes, which is self-discipline. It's like a bunch of passengers sitting in the cockpit. Everyone wants to go to Hawaii, but no one knows how to fly the plane. Speaker B. Exactly. A lack of self-discipline is a lack of the most basic operating system for getting things done. And the master's words were brutal. He said the only thing that can destroy this operating system is the vexation we talked about. When a person is completely controlled by vexation, their operating system suffers a severe crash. This explains why the master later used the word insane or neurotic to describe this state of loss of control. Speaker A. That word sounds very heavy, maybe even offensive. Speaker B. It is heavy, but if you look at it from the perspective of functional impairment, it's actually very precise. It describes the predicament of being unable to control one's own impulses, words, and actions. It's like when we see news of someone exploding in rage over a trivial matter and hurting themselves or others. That is a state of total loss of control. It's an internal paralysis of function. Speaker A. Right? When the most important decision-making system in your brain is hijacked by the vexation virus, all your output becomes nothing but chaos and destruction. Speaker B. To give the disciples a more concrete understanding of this internal chaos, the master then used a classic and powerful metaphor. I think this is the core imagery of the entire dialogue. Speaker A. Yes, the spear and the shield. According to the text, these two things have very specific meanings. First is the spear. It represents aggression, using your language, your attitude, and your expressions to target and wound others. There's a line in the dialogue that says it's an inner impulse of I cannot listen to you because I must hurt you. The point isn't whether the matter is right or wrong. The point is I just want to attack you. Speaker B. And the shield represents self-protection, protecting everything related to me, my interests, my face, ego, my reputation, my rights. The dialogue is very blunt. It's about protecting that bit of food, that bit of drink, that bit of fun, and most importantly, my position as the boss. Speaker A. Well, the imagery is so strong. Everyone in a team holds a spear to attack others in one hand and a shield to protect themselves in the other. That doesn't sound like a meeting. It sounds like a Roman Colosseum. Speaker B. Exactly. But the truly interesting part is where the master takes this metaphor. He isn't just talking about external conflicts between people. He asks a more lethal, chilling question. How is it that your own spear is stabbing your own shield? Speaker A. Well, that sentence has a lot of kick. Isn't that what we usually call internal friction, attrition? This war isn't just happening within a team. It's playing out inside every individual's heart. Speaker B. Completely correct. It's an endless internal war. When your desire to attack others, your spear is frustrated. That energy turns back to attack yourself. You feel frustrated and angry. And when your self-protection, your shield, is rigid, you close yourself off, unable to learn or grow. The metaphor in the text is tragic. It says you end up stabbing yourself until you are full of holes. It depicts a state of psychological exhaustion, because everyone is trying to maintain their own boss position. All the team's energy is wasted on this meaningless offense and defense. In the end, everyone is bruised and battered. It is a collective self-destruction. Speaker A. Okay, so if a team has already become a bloody battlefield of spears and shields, what can be done? Facing such a team, the master proposed a solution that sounds very extreme, perhaps even irresponsible. Speaker B. Yes, at first, it sounds like a joke. He said the solution is to let everyone work alone. His logic is coldly simple. If it's just you, there is no one to have a conflict with. Meaning, when the object of your attack is removed, don't the external conditions for conflict disappear? Speaker A. I think this solution is more of a diagnostic test than a real cure. Speaker B. A stress test. Speaker A. Exactly. He very cleverly removes all external excuses. You can no longer say, it's because of him that I'm like this, or he started it. He forces every individual to face their most fundamental problem directly, in a total vacuum, without others. Do you still fail to get things done? Does your internal spear still keep hitting your own shield? Speaker B. That's exactly it. It is a soul-searching question. Of course, the disciples immediately push back. They felt that working alone was a dead end. They even argued that even Mei Chang's Sir from Nirvana in Fire needed a team. This is where the most ironic and unsolvable deadlock of the dialogue appears. Speaker A. The disciples think working alone is a dead end. But the master's counter-argument is that staying together like this is the true dead end. He used a brutal analogy. The company can hardly survive if it has even one person full of vexations, wielding a spear and shield all day. What more when a whole bunch of such people are gathered together? You're doomed. The mutual internal friction will destroy everything. Either way, it's a dead end. Speaker B. So, this deadlock reveals the core of the problem. It's never about the form of the organization. It's about the people who make up the organization. If the parts you have are all broken, no matter how you assemble them, the machine is destined to be broken. Speaker A. This leads to the ultimate question. Since the problem is so serious and the internal friction has reached a point where neither working together nor working alone works, why can't they change? What is holding them so tight? Speaker B. The end of the dialogue gives the most profound and sobering answer. I think it's the master's sharp observation. They cannot change because they consistently believe in their own views and notions that have already led to half a lifetime of failure. Speaker A. The original text says, your views have made you this miserable, and yet you still trust those views. That line really stings. He's almost saying that the greatest tragedy of a human being is having blind loyalty to one's own stupidity. Speaker B. This hits the root. They haven't truly realized the danger and crisis of their own patterns of thinking and behavior. Speaker A. You mean? They might admit they have problems verbally, but deep down, they don't really think it's that serious. Speaker B. Exactly. Verbal admission is easy, but behavior doesn't lie. The master said that as long as no one is watching or reminding them, they will immediately and without hesitation pick up the broken spear and broken shield. It's their muscle memory. Speaker A. So, this has nothing to do with company rules or systems. Speaker B. Nothing at all. The text mentions that the company has rules, but the spear and shield rules in the disciples' hearts, the rules of protecting the self and attacking others, always take priority. Once my interests are touched, all external rules are pierced through without hesitation. It is a deep-rooted, automated habit. Speaker A. In other words, they would rather trust the feelings that have been proven failures by half a lifetime of experience than trust the facts laid out right in front of them. Speaker B. Yes, they are trapped in their own cognitive loop. It's like the source code of a city is written wrong no matter how many times you run it. The result will always be an error, unless you realize the code itself needs to be rewritten. All effort is just repeating the mistake, and they still believe their code is the best. Speaker A. Today's profound dialogue really peels back the layers like an onion to reveal a startling fact. The failure of a team might not be due to strategy or resources. It's more likely rooted in the vexations of each member, the resulting lack of self-discipline, and finally, an unstoppable internal war of spears and shields. Speaker B. Exactly. This gives you a very powerful introspective lens to observe any team you are in, be it your work team, your family, or even an online community. When cooperation is stalled, we are used to looking outward, blaming others or the system. But this material forces us to look inward. Behind all this, are there invisible spears and shields clashing? Are we each, unconsciously, creating the suffering of ourselves and our teams? Speaker A. That is indeed a perspective worth deep reflection. And the most intriguing thing is that when the dialogue ends, the master doesn't give a clear, comfortable answer. He only reveals the brutal reality and throws the question back. Speaker B. This leaves us, and you who are listening, with a very important question to ponder. Speaker A. What question? Speaker B. If you were one of those disciples, after hearing this blunt and almost cruel diagnosis, what would your next move be? And more importantly, how can you ensure that your next move isn't just your inner spear or shield putting on a new outfit called I want to change?